All right, friends, if you want to grab your seats, I hope the message got around. We decided to start a tiny bit earlier because finishing early is also still one of the goals of day 3. I'm on it. We're going to make it work. So if you want to grab your seats, we're going to get started with the last section of the Waste Management Symposium before we have a lunch and say goodbye. Oh, no. Excellent. And what a great way to start this last component. We're going to have a movie screening. So we'll turn all the lights down. There's no popcorn, but there are like still more scones. So you can have a scone and a cup of tea and watch a movie. It's so many, it's cold like a cinema, like it's got all of those things going for it. All we need is like a crying baby in the back and somebody to answer their phone like rudely in the middle. We can arrange all of those things. So we're going to have a movie screening, but to give a bit of context to the movie and to introduce it, no stranger up here. Can you please welcome back Emma, who's going to tell us about the Dhimurrru Rangers video, Untrashing Djulpan.
Hello again. So this video and our next presenters, Coast Cleanup, are both about the marine debris that falls on the East Arnhem Coast. So I'm not going to say too much about it because these 2 presentations will tell the whole story, but I just want to highlight the inequality surrounding this issue. So these coastlines that this marine debris falls on is probably similar to a lot of you guys in the room, but it's very different to the marine debris that lands in Sydney and Bondi and everywhere else, because we are poor communities, we are Indigenous communities, and we have a whole lot of other issues such as overcrowded housing, unemployment, extreme poverty. So marine debris, understandably, can't be a priority in these places. So our next 2 presentations are about what we're doing. Okay, thanks.
Djulpan is an area where the dreaming of my mother's people, the Yirritja tribe, they sing about Djulpan, where the turtle nesting begins.
The reason Dhimurrru was formed was basically because a mine started in this place in the late 60s, early 70s, with virtually no consultation with traditional owners, and this town was just built here without their consent. So a core team of Yolngu came up with the vision of forming Dhimurrru to look after that land. So we are heading an hour and a half, 2 hours down the track to a long stretch of beach called Djulpan. It's an area that's been closed for about 5 years. I know all of you here are experienced in marine debris. Probably some of the aspects unique to this area that you might not have dealt with is obviously the heat. It's very exposed conditions, there's not a lot of shade out there. Plenty of sunscreen, and most importantly, hydration, and we don't want anyone collapsing.
We've had our ranger meeting and our briefing. We're all ready to go. We don't know what we'll find down there on the beaches, but we're keen to get there and get started and get the stuff off of this area.
Let's just hold off if she's the driver too.
Morning.
Be good to have filled up.
So we have 11 volunteers in total here to carry out the beach cleanup, coming from all over Australia, from all of the various marine debris teams. And they've all flown in the last couple of days, and all excited to head out today and get stuck into cleaning up this beach. We're packing all our food for the trip. We're packing all our the clothes that we need. The Dhimurrru Rangers are taking 4 vehicles plus a lorry for all of the rubbish. And they've got all our tents and camping equipment. So on our truck is just our own personal gear plus our own food for the next couple of weeks.
There's so much space in the other one. You can put more boxes in the other one.
Well, we'll just take off and get a head start. So we're ahead of all the dust.
Djulpan's a significant beach area. It sits to the south of the mouth of Port Bradshaw, and the beach is 14 kilometres long. It's significant for wildlife, particularly sea turtles. It's a big nesting area for sea turtles, but there's also a lot of other marine megafauna in the area and some significant populations of shorebirds. The marine debris issue's been something that's been building for several decades. It basically, these days, consists of a mixture of fisheries-related items, but there's also quite a big component of domestic type waste, household goods, footwear, clothes, lighters, etc. Essentially, everything that falls on the beaches of the Dhimurrru IPA is up to the rangers to manage, to clean up. However, with 70 kilometres of beaches and densities of up to or over a tonne in places, it's beyond the capacity of 10 rangers to manage all that. In 2017, some of the Sea Shepherd crew were doing aerial surveys in the area, and that's where they saw firsthand the density of the marine debris on the beaches there. And as a result of that, we've been in communications ever since, and that's developed into a partnership. We were able to work together, and basically we came up with the Djulpan project.
So when people think of Sea Shepherd, they think of the campaigns that we do, more direct action on the ships down to Antarctica. They don't really consider the issue of us being involved in plastic pollution and marine debris. Latest research and data has shown that probably by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean by weight than there will be fish. And this is why Sea Shepherd Australia is focusing on this issue. For many years, we've known that the top end of Australia is pretty trashed. We talked to Luke and said, can we help you in any way? And he said, yes, we're always looking for volunteers and we need more people up here. It's a huge task for us, a burden on the rangers when they should be doing other things to clean these beaches. And any help we can get, we'd love to have you here. And so we started to formulate the plan of the beach cleanup. The plan was pretty simple in the beginning. It was to take 10 volunteers to Arnhem Land and to collaborate with the Dhimurrru Ranger group and to pick up as much rubbish as we could from a remote beach. Like all plans, they seem simple when they start, but of course you're always going to encounter difficulties and things change. That's a beautiful beach up there. It's stunning. Wow.
So if you guys want to go check out the beach, and we'll get stuff sorted, okay? See what we're in for.
So we've just arrived here at Djulpan Beach. We're taking a look around at the beach conditions and the state of the beach, and what we can see very, very clearly is that the density of the marine debris is like nothing that we've ever seen on any of the beaches that our campaign has cleaned up so far. I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed actually. Like I can't imagine that we're going to actually be able to get rid of all this and remove all this rubbish. So I know that we've got quite a big task at hand, but we've certainly got the passion and the drive behind us to make this campaign really successful.
We're just going down to the beach now and doing our first cleanup. So let's see how long we're going to go for it. And yeah, let's see.
We wanted to achieve two things with this campaign. The first one, to remove as much trash as we could from the beach, and that was to give an instant relief to that area for marine life. And the second thing we wanted to achieve was to count and sort the amount of plastic that we picked up on the beach. And this is to be able to show exactly what is on the beach and to be able to work towards long-term solutions to improve the issue in these remote locations.
One team has started cleaning. We're heading straight out to do our surveys. We're going up to the far end of the beach where we're going to carry out a transect looking for surface debris. When we've completed that, we're going to do 2 quadrats looking at debris below the surface. Once we've completed this transect, this will give us some idea of the amount of marine debris that's on the beach here from 0 to 14 kilometers.
This is our haul of marine debris that we collected today. Just one day's worth of rubbish that's come off the beach. Watch your hands, Trent, there's jigs in there.
We're doing the data, so we're just going through the different categories of what we can put things in and starting the counting and sorting process. There's a lot of it for the first day. I mean, this is just really 6 hours of picking up from the beach.
Kind of mixture of bleach bottles and pharmaceutical bottles, so shampoo or moisturizer or something. Cigarette lighters, foam, fishing gear, glass bottles. So yeah, just a bit of everything, but it takes some time to get through it just to sort it out so we can count it.
It's not just literally collecting the rubbish, it's actually being able to tell people what we found, and the only way that we can do that is by sorting and counting it. We've got a ton of water bottles, oil bottles, fishing gear, ropes. We'll put them into their different sorting categories, we'll count them up, and that will go on the database. Originally we were planning to do 14 kilometres, that was the big plan. We're not really on track to do that. There's actually a lot more rubbish that we anticipated, and we'll just keep pushing through and clean up as much of the beach as we can.
I've been through here, but only on the helicopter. So I've only seen this place from the air. When I seen the rubbish from here, like from the land, it just hurt me, and I could just imagine it's probably hurting a lot of other people around the world too. Us younger people, we are still connected to this day to our land. It's a beautiful country and we want to keep it beautiful. And that's why we clean up the rubbish. It does matter to us. If we look after Mother Earth, she'll look after us. That's for sure.
Every day our aim was to pick up as much rubbish as we could. We'd start really at daybreak as soon as the sun came out. We'd have breakfast, we'd make the plan for the day, and we'd get in the utes around 6:30 in the morning, and we'd head out to the beach. Djulpan is the most beautiful area. It has the most gorgeous boulders, beautiful, pristine looking sand until you walk down and see the amount of plastic there.
The problems we're seeing on our beaches are not local plastic. This stuff is coming from far away. We're very concerned about the way that the plastic degrades and on our beaches and breaking down into tiny particles. I'm also very concerned about the animals eating it. We see the evidence on every beach, the bite marks on all the plastic. So it's the birds, the turtles, the fish, everything seems to be eating this plastic.
So you can see here 2 different types of plastic. This is pharmaceutical of some kind, looks like a cream, a face cream, and this one is a soft drink, I would think. Both got bite marks. This is a big turtle bite mark. They have no way of distinguishing which is edible and what isn't. To them, plastic was once not in the ocean. They're animals that are very, very ancient, and plastic relatively new. It's only been here on our planet for about 70 years. You know that animals are eating the plastic, but when you see that in reality, it's very shocking. And that really motivated all of us to want the urgency to get that plastic off the beach. Along the beach, there are numerous nets. Some of them very big piles of nets. And these are a logistic nightmare to get out because you start with the top, you start to pull, and you think, oh, this is, not a very big net. And when you start to pull, you can't. And then you start to dig out the sand and you realize there's this huge net is buried underneath the sand. And then we really need to get tools to be able to cut it up, to be able to remove it and take it back out in the utes.
There's quite a challenge in collecting the debris and then bagging it up and getting it to landfill. It involves handling it numerous times. We can't get a truck anywhere near the campsite. So from the beach, it goes to the campsite. From the campsite, it's loaded again to go to the truck. And then from the truck, it goes back to base where it's weighed and measured. And then finally, it's loaded once more to finally end up in landfill.
There are no tools that can do this job for you easily. There's nothing that can magically sweep along that beach and remove every piece of plastic. There is no device that can scoop it out of the oceans that's proven yet to be able to do this. So we have 2 options. The first option is to go out there, pick up every single piece that we can physically with our hands, with as many volunteers as we can do this, and remove as much as we can. The second is to do nothing. And that is not an option that Sea Shepherd wants to take.
So yeah, we're out here in the heat and picking up all this rubbish, and it's hard work, but then once in a while you come across a turtle egg and you just hope that the little turtle made its way out to the ocean safe and sound, because we picked up all the rubbish around their nests and hopefully they don't come across any plastic.
So another day of sorting. There's a lot of nets in the back of the truck and they're still to be sorted, so we need with those to try to find out where the nets came from, what sort of nets they are, and all that will get data logged.
From Dhimurrru, it's got
thank you. Oh, brilliant.
different kind of nets here.
Yeah, oh, that's fantastic.
So I'll hand it over to you and you have to sort it out.
That's drift net, isn't it?
So this net just came from overseas or some of the fishing trawlers. That's why we call this ghost net, because it kills every marine species out in the sea. We've been doing this for so many years, like myself, 10 years, and it hasn't been changed, but too many rubbish coming in.
We were only there for 2 weeks. All the rest of the year, 50 other weeks of the year, this is the ranger's job to deal with. Every year, it keeps arriving on the beach. So it's just a huge task for them. And one really that they should not have to be doing, because we shouldn't be seeing this amount of plastic. We need to stem the tide of plastic in the ocean.
Today is our last day of beach cleaning. The beach is 14 kilometres long, and when we started last week, we were really hoping to get to the end. The amount of marine debris and trash on the beach is just so high, and everything is so brittle that we haven't been able to achieve that aim. But what we have cleaned is fantastic, and let's just get on with the rest of the morning, and then we'll head back to town.
The project over the 2 weeks was really good. Probably one of the most satisfying parts of working on beaches such as Djulpan is when you're driving back over it at the end of the day and you're seeing how it should be a clean beach once again. I'm involved with marine debris management because I can't stand seeing it on natural areas. Wherever I go, whether it's land or sea, I hate seeing rubbish. To see it in the densities that I see it on the beaches is heartbreaking. So I want to be doing something about the problem, and you know, by going out and physically picking it up and keeping these beaches as clean as we can seems like the most logical step for us to be doing.
As you can see, all the rubbish we've been cleaning up at Djulpan. You see all those 3 loads of car. Yeah, we're taking to the big truck, and yeah, hopefully take all the rubbish back to the tip.
So we're back here at the Rangers depot. We've brought the rubbish in from the site, and now we're weighing it, sorting it and putting it into different categories. And it's kind of the time now that the campaign's starting to draw to a close, and we're really seeing the immensity of all the debris that we've collected from Djulpan.
Did we achieve our mission? No, we didn't, because we had hoped to clean up 14 k's of beach. But what we did do, we successfully cleaned 4 kilometres of beach. We picked up and sorted and data and counted 2 kilometres beach. And the total was 7.1 tonnes of trash.
My name is Jennifer Lavers, and I'm a marine biologist at the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies here in Tasmania. And I've been studying marine pollution in the oceans for the better part of about 10 or 15 years. I started working with Sea Shepherd after meeting the amazing Mike and Lisa Dix. So it's been this fantastic partnership between on-the-ground groups and community members and the scientific community as well, coming together to achieve a common goal. So Mike and Lisa did some fantastic little quadrats where they dug down into the beach sediment to look at what's hidden, what we can't see. So when we run those numbers and we look at how much is along the 14 kilometers, we're talking about 250 million pieces of plastic. That's a little bit scary. What that means is we don't fully understand the scale of the problem yet. And with plastic production increasing, demand, consumption all rising, the amount of plastic going out into the ocean is set to increase as well. So the quicker we can get our plastic addiction under control, the better.
We're in a very remote area and just getting, the tip of the iceberg of what's in the oceans. We're just a patch-up job. What we need is to stop putting it in the oceans. Dhimurru's motto is all of us together looking after country. We're a small group, a tight-knit group, like a family. And it was really encouraging working with Sea Shepherd and seeing that they're much the same.
The Sea Shepherd volunteers coming together with the Dhimurrru Rangers represents what we can all do. We all have a role that we can play, and that is doing your bit. Whether that bit is joining a beach cleanup and helping to clean up, whether it's reducing yourself, your plastic use and consumption, or campaigning to create awareness and outreach and education, each of us can have a role that can make a difference. We don't see this campaign as being over at all. We hope that we'll be able to continue our collaboration with the Dhimurrru Rangers. As long as the plastic continues to wash in, Sea Shepherd will be out there cleaning up the beaches.
I hope for the future, hopefully we'll get work together, tell this mob out in overseas or somewhere, wherever you are, spread message, stop chucking rubbish out in the sea. You're affecting all the marine life and also people that lives in country. Ilimurujaka pukmak wangau. All of us work together and look after country.
Was Untrashing Djulpan. Thank you very much.